welcome to the Kings of Punk podcast. I'm Tyler Hammer, and joining me today is Johnny from the band Unleashed. Johnny, thanks for joining me.
Of course. It's great to be here.
Very cool. So for our listeners, why don't you tell us a bit about yourself and the band Unleashed?
No problem. My name is Johnny and I am the lead singer and guitarist for Unleashed. We are an extreme metal band from Sweden and have been making music for over 20 years.
Wow, that's some impressive history there. So, I wanted to talk to you about something special. Unleashed has released 4 Christmas albums, so it seems only fitting that we discuss your recent release, A Classic Christmas. Did Sweden influence your music on the album?
Absolutely. We have been influenced by Swedish music and culture a lot, and that certainly comes through on the album. Christmas is a big thing in Sweden. It's an important part of the winter season, and I feel like we captured that feeling in our music. We almost wanted to create a mix of old and new Swedish music, something that captured the spirit of Christmas but gave it a modern twist.
Sounds really cool. I'd love to hear more about how you chose which songs to cover. What kind of selection process did you go through?
We wanted to select songs that we felt had a special connection to US or to our home country. We wanted to make sure the music was both traditional and modern at the same time, and that it had a special meaning for US. We also wanted to make sure the music was upbeat and catchy, but with a bit of darkness so it fit in with the rest of our music.
I think you guys nailed it. Thanks for taking the time to chat with us. Back to you, listeners.
I don't want a lot for Christmas. There's just one thing I need. I don't care about the presents underneath the Christmas tree. I don't need to hang my stocking there upon the fireplace. Santa Claus won't make me happy with a toy on Christmas Day. I just want you for my own, more than you could ever.
So welcome to the special Christmas episode of the Kings of Punk podcast, Duane. It's a real honor to have you here, man.
Thank you, Gary. It's great to be here.
So let's start off by talking about your background. You've been around the skate punk world since the 1970s. What's been the most memorable and impactful moment during your career?
Well, I think one of the moments that stands out the most was during a demonstration in 1977. There were skate punks, roller skaters and malcontents alike, getting together to confront the city council about their lack of action in curbing skateboarders from the streets. Seeing all those kids united in their passion for skateboarding was really inspiring.
Speaking of passion, why do you think skate punk as a subgenre has stayed so resilient and resonated so strongly with people over the years?
I think it's because skatepunk is about more than just skateboarding. It's about living life with passion and intensity, and challenging yourself to push the boundaries. It's about standing up for yourself and your beliefs no matter how difficult it might be. It's this idea of being an outlier that draws people to skatepunk. It's a movement of self-expression and individuality that young people have connected with for decades. Plus, it's just a whole lot of fun. Come on, you can't deny that there's something special about speeding down the street on 4 wheels, feeling the wind blow past you as you maneuver around obstacles. It gives you a kind of freedom that nothing else can.
I know that feeling all too well. I bet a few beers helps too. Ha ha ha.
Ha 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 ha. Yeah, you could say that. It's no secret that skatepunkers love to get loose and have a good time. Beer, parties, and general debauchery are all part of the lifestyle. I think that's one of the reasons people connect with skatepunk so strongly. It's a lifestyle they can relate to.
You've been involved in the punk rock and skate punk scenes for decades. How has the music evolved over the years?
Well, as you'd imagine, the music has changed a bit to keep up with the changing times over the years. Skatepunk has maintained a lot of the Ramones and Dead Kennedys influences, but with newer acts like Fiddler, there's been an influx of elements from surf punk, garage rock, and pop punk. There's a constant evolution of the music that keeps it fresh and exciting, and I think that's why skatepunk has stayed so popular.
Last question, before we wrap up today, what words of wisdom would you leave to the young skatepunkers out there?
Follow your passions, follow your heart, and stay honest with yourself. Don't be afraid to speak up and stand up for what you believe in, and above all, never forget to have fun. That's what skatepunk is all about.
Amazing words, Duane. I think that'll be a great way to end this episode of the Kings of Punk podcast. Thanks again for coming on today, and Merry Christmas.
All I want for Christmas is you. All I want for Christmas, yeah, is you. I said it now. All I want for Christmas, yeah, is you. I said it now. All I want for Christmas, yeah, is you. I said it now. All I want for Christmas, yeah, is you. I said it now. I won't ask for much this Christmas. I won't even wish for snow. And I'm just gonna keep on.
Welcome everyone to the Kings of Punk podcast with me, Jay Kraser. I'm delighted to be spinning this special Christmas episode with renowned punk musician Julian Cashwan Pratt.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Let's start by talking about your career. How did it all begin?
Well, I actually started playing punk music on the side while I was studying at college in London. I started playing some small gigs on the local music scene and eventually it grew from there. I ended up forming my own band which eventually got signed and released an album.
Wow, that's quite a success story. What would you say is your greatest accomplishment as a punk musician?
That's a tough question. I think my greatest accomplishment has been being able to take my music to a global audience. I've had the chance to travel the world and perform all over the place. It's a great feeling to share my music with so many people.
Absolutely. You just released a new holiday single. Can you tell us a bit about it?
Sure. It's called Merry Christmas, Let's Pogo and it's a punk-inspired take on the classic Christmas carol. It's an infectious track with a lot of energy and it'll make you want to get up and dance.
It does sound like a great addition to any punk Christmas playlist. Is there any message you'd like to send to your fans this Christmas?
Absolutely. I'd like to wish all my fans a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. This year has been a challenging one, but music and punk rock can help us get through anything. So let's keep our spirits high and let the music keep us going.
I love the positive message and it's a perfect note to end on. Before we go, can you tell us what you have planned for 2021?
Yeah, absolutely. I've got some exciting plans for the new year. I'll be releasing my second album and getting back on the road for some more live shows. I'm also looking forward to connecting with more people and spreading my message of positivity through my music.
That sounds awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Julian.
It's been a pleasure.
To all our listeners out there, Merry Christmas and have a happy and healthy New Year. This is Jake Razor signing off.
Make a list and send it to the North Pole for St. Nick. I won't even stay awake to hear those magic reindeer click. I just want you here tonight, holding on to me so tight. What more can I do? 'Cause all I want for Christmas is you. All I want for Christmas, yeah, is you. I said it now. All I want for Christmas, yeah, is you. I said it.
Welcome Metallica. We're super excited to have you on the show.
Hey, thanks for having us. We've been fans of the show for a while, so it's great to be here.
Cool. So let's dive into our questions. How does it feel that it's nearly Christmas and your fans will have the pleasure of hearing your music on the radio for the first time?
It's really exciting. We're so grateful to have this opportunity and hopefully our fans will dig it.
Absolutely. Going back to our Christmas theme, what is your favorite Christmas song? Either one you personally perform or one by someone else.
Well, we always play Fade to Black with a holiday twist. But if we were to pick one of someone else's Christmas songs, it would have to be Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree by Brenda Lee.
That's a great choice. So do you have any holiday traditions that you all do?
We try to spend time with our families over the holidays and that's definitely the most important part. Last year, we also hosted a big Christmas party which was a lot of fun and gave us an excuse to dress up in our favorite holiday costumes.
That sounds great. So before we wrap up, do you have any message to share with your fans?
Absolutely. We just want to say thank you to everyone who's been supporting us all these years. We wish everyone peace and joy this holiday season.
And the sound of children, the laughter fills the air. Everyone is singing, I hear those sleigh bells ringing. Santa, won't you bring me the one I really need? Won't you bring my baby to me? I don't want a lot for Christmas, this is all I'm asking for. I just wanna see my baby standing right outside my door. I just want you for my own.
Welcome to the Kings of Punk podcast. I'm your host Jake, and joining me today are my co-hosts Tim and Tyler, as well as our very special guest host Billy Milano.
It's great to have you here, Billy.
Yeah, it's great to be here. I love the punk rock scene.
We're all excited to have you, Billy. We know you have a ton of experience with punk, so let's get right into it.
One of our favorite topics to talk about is classic punk Christmas albums. Billy Milano.
Definitely. I've got a few favorites. Let's start with...
Hold on, before we get there, I wanted to ask Billy something.
Sure, what is it, Tim?
Alright, Billy. We know you're very outspoken when it comes to your views on race and other controversial topics. I'm wondering if you have any controversial Christmas sentiments you want to share?
Sure. You know what I always say during Christmas? Santa Claus only gives presents to white people. Ha ha ha.
Billy, that's not cool. You know that's not true and it's not funny.
Ha 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 ha. Alright, well I guess I can tone it down a bit. But you got to admit, it was a good one.
Yeah, let's get back on track and talk about punk Christmas albums. What was the one you wanted to talk about earlier, Billy?
Yes, the Dead Kennedys' Fresh Fruit for Rotting Vegetables. It's an absolute classic.
Absolutely. That first album was really groundbreaking.
On that same theme, have you heard any of the Clash's Christmas songs?
Oh yeah, absolutely. White Riot and White Christmas are two of my faves. But you have to understand, Christmas music from any other culture really just isn't the same.
What do you mean?
Well, nothing else can compete with classic Western Christmas tunes. They just have a certain je ne sais quoi.
I think what you mean to say is, Christmas just isn't Christmas without the white man.
Alright, enough of this. Let's talk about something else.
No problem. Where were we?
We were talking about the Clash's Christmas songs. Do you have a favorite?
Definitely, I love Merry Christmas, I Don't Wanna Fight Tonight.
That's actually a really popular one. It's great to see someone with your punk pedigree still enjoying it.
Absolutely. It's just a classic.
Agreed. Well, I think it's time to wrap up this Christmas edition of the podcast. Do you have any closing thoughts you'd like to give, Billy?
Yeah, punk is still alive and kicking during the Christmas season. We all need to keep the true spirit of punk alive, even over the holidays. That's the real way to celebrate Christmas.
I think that's a great way to end the show, Billy.
Now that's punk rock.
Okay everyone. That's a wrap for this Christmas edition of the Kings of Punk podcast. Until next time, stay punk.
This episode was sponsored by Kringle. Head on over to showtheshows.com, a one-stop shop for one-star Christmas gifts.